All right, guys, we got, shockingly, some amazing news here to share with you. This sort of stuff makes me happy. I wish we got news like this every single day. So, More Perfect Union is reporting that Cook County, which is the home of Chicago, so it's a county in Illinois, they're abolishing the medical debt of 73,000 residents, and apparently with more to come as well. The county will ultimately use $12 million in federal pandemic relief to erase up to $1 billion in medical debt in partnership with a group that's called RIP Medical Debt, which they say here, we are dedicated to erasing medical debt across America. Join our donors and supporters who have helped us relieve over $8.5 billion in medical debt and counting. So they also say, quote, so far the county has spent around $800,000 on the effort. Rest in peace, RIP Medical Debt is able to negotiate down the cost of the debt when selling it to buyers on the for-profit market. With $1, Rest in Peace Medical Debt has relieved as much as $100 of medical debt or more at a time. Then they have a local news organization here which reported on it. They're doing God's work here, man. This is doing God's work. I love this. So apparently, look, this is not a government organization, but I love what they're doing here. I think there shouldn't be such a thing as medical debt. Honestly, this reminds me of the good news recently where we learned, what was it? Minnesota decided we're going to pass permanent free school lunch for everybody. I thought that was awesome. Look, these wins may be little. It might be one state at a time or one county at a time, but this matters, man. So I just want to give you guys a reminder of what we're dealing with here when it comes to medical debt. I mean, I need to first say we are the only developed country with a concept of medical debt. It doesn't exist in Canada, doesn't exist in France, doesn't exist in Norway or England or Sweden, or all these countries have universal healthcare. Free at the point of service. Here we do not have universal healthcare. We have a private health insurance and healthcare system. And so the number one cause of bankruptcy in this country is medical bills. Look, you guys might know that. A lot of you guys who've watched this show for a long time or watch other similar shows for a long time, you might know that. But to some people who don't know it, that comes as a shock. Like the first time I heard that, it was stunning to think about. So in other words, somebody gets sick, usually through no fault of their own, and the family can't afford it. They go to pay as much of the bills as they can, and they can't. And they have to file for bankruptcy because somebody needed a surgery, or somebody had cancer, or somebody had heart disease, or somebody had an autoimmune disorder, whatever it is. It has ruined people's lives. All because of some regular life stuff. By the way, it's not if you end up in the hospital or the doctors. It's just when. We're all human. We're all dying slowly. So this is something that is a right. But in this country, we treat it as a privilege. So this is an article from CNBC. They say 100 million adults have healthcare debt, and 12% of them owe more than $10,000, owe $10,000 or more. This is wild, man. An estimated 41% of adults face healthcare debt, ranging from under $500, that's 16%, to $10,000 or more, that's 12%, according to a new report. The study comes ahead of scheduled changes to the way medical debt shows up on consumer credit reports. So let me give you guys some more numbers here. Overall, it's 41% of people have medical debt, or about 100 million adults currently face the debt, ranging from under $500 to $10,000 or more, according to a report from the Kaiser Family Foundation. Using $2,500 as a base level, 56% who carry medical and/or dental debt owe below that amount, and 44% owe much more than that. However, some of that medical debt may not have shown up in past estimates or surveys. For example, some is on credit cards. 17% of adults are paying that way, or is being paid off over time directly to a doctor, hospital, or other healthcare provider. That's 21% who pay it off like that. And so here they have a list of what percentage and how much they owe. The report was based on a nationally representative survey of 2,375 adults taken between February 25th to March 20th and included 1,292 adults with current healthcare debt. The results were weighted to reflect the U.S. population. The study was conducted as part of a larger research project with the Kaiser Health News and NPR. So again, what we're talking about here is the number one cause, the leading cause of bankruptcy in this country. They go on to say healthcare debt hurts consumer spending. Yet the financial consequences of medical debt go beyond credit scores, the Kaiser survey shows. For instance, 63% with current or recent debt within the past 5 years said it caused them to cut spending on food, clothing, and other basics, including 51% of those with annual household incomes above $90,000. Jesus. Nearly half, 48%, with such debt said they used up all or most of their savings to pay it off. Collectively, medical debt in the U.S. stood at $195 billion or more in 2019. $195 billion. It's almost certainly more now. Let's say over $200 billion. That's how much medical debt we have. Now, again, I hate to make the same tired points over and over, but I make them because it's true. The Pentagon failed 5 audits in a row. They can't account for 59% of their money. We're talking trillions of dollars missing. We're talking the war in Iraq cost $7 trillion. The war in Afghanistan cost $2 trillion. We're talking trillions of dollars to bail out Wall Street and big predatory financial institutions. Trillions of dollars with a T. $195 billion in medical debt, and you're telling me that can't be wiped out when we're the only developed country with medical debt? It goes without saying, man. We need universal health care, Medicare for all. We need to get rid of the private insurance industry, which is nothing but a legal mafia. It is a parasitic, for-profit shark. It's a middleman. They are a mafia. Eliminate the mafia, free healthcare, single payer. That's the way out of this. Abolish all medical debt. Make it so it's not a thing. Free at the point of service. And then when people chime in and say, "Hey, you gonna pay for it? Hey, you gonna pay for it? Hey, you gonna pay for it?" You respond, "It saves money. How can we afford not to do it?" Because it does, man. It saves trillions of dollars over a decade. When you cut out the mafia middleman, you're going to save money. So any sort of objection to this stuff is just unfounded. It's just unfounded. So I love that we have some movement on this issue in Illinois. Let's see what happens, man. Free lunch in Minnesota. I think there are 4 states now that have free school lunch for kids. That's something that every blue state could move on. And this is another thing where, again, RIP medical debt is sort of leading the charge on this one. But maybe you can get other counties jump in or certain states jump in. They might come up eventually. If they go a little too far, you might run up against some very powerful interests, whether it be big pharma or the health insurance companies or whatever. But we got to do it, right? We got to fight the fight. All these very simple, direct ways to improve people's lives and fix a problem. Thank God we're getting some movement on it, but we need much, much more, and we should stop at nothing until there's no such thing as medical debt anymore. All right, guys. That's the show, y'all. That is the show. That's all I got for you today. I love you all very much, as always. Thank you for listening to me babble on a daily basis. I am your loyal host and servant. They call me Slim Kyle. There are 3 Slims. Slim Shady, Slim Charles from The Wire, great character, and Slim Kyle. You were still looking at Slim Kyle with the hair. Everybody subscribe to the channel. Everybody subscribe to the channel. We're going to try to get to 2 million, then we're going to try to get to 10 million. I'd like to get another plaque. Mr. Beast, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm coming for you. I'm only like 1,000 lifetimes behind you, but I'm going to try my damnedest to get there. And if that means I got to babble my mouth every single dumbass day, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So anyway, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. All that stuff, guys, really helps with the YouTube algorithm so that we don't get screwed in the YouTube algorithm. It helps us, get our stuff recommended to more people, for example. So I'd really appreciate that. And remember, guys, you can always support the show on Patreon. I've never talked to an advertiser, never talked to a corporation, don't want to. You guys make that possible. So support the show on Patreon. You can support on YouTube too. That thanks button you can click and give a little tip. You can support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack as well. And remember, you can always listen to the full shows in audio podcast form over on Spotify if you want to listen to it as a podcast instead of watching the YouTube videos. All right, that'll do it for me, guys. I love every single one of you beautiful hoes, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.